just want to say welcome, and we want to say this is the Dose of Positivity, where we just hear people from all around the world on how they're staying up, how they're pushing through. We know it's tough times right now, but we just want to offer some words of encouragement and let you all know that you're not alone. We're in this together. So today we are welcoming our brother, our good friend, Mr. Nate Araya.
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Hannah.
Yes, thank you so much for being here. Nate is a filmmaker, digital storyteller, professor, entrepreneur, and most recently the founder of Ground Zero, which we're going to talk about pretty soon. So welcome.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for tuning in and being able to engage in this conversation as well. Looking forward to it, so thank you.
If you could just let us know a little bit about your work, because obviously you're doing some amazing things through visual and digital storytelling. And then also let us know about your most recent venture.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. My name is Nate. I am an Ethiopian Eritrean American filmmaker, as well as a college professor. I teach at Concordia University, teach marketing, storytelling, and yeah, I have many different entrepreneurial endeavors that I really enjoy that are very community based. But I started making films back in since I was a kid, just like crazy funny little videos that went on YouTube. And then in 2011, I shot my real first documentary called Sincerely Ethiopia, which was about people and projects that were impacting the communities in different ways. So we touched on many different hometown heroes that are doing incredible work on the ground. And a lot of the reason why I made that is I wanted to really change the narrative and the story of how we see ourselves as people. Because what I've been able to see and understand growing up as a kid was the idea of it's very hard to be what you can't see. So a lot of my work is based off of visual and display so that I can be able to provide opportunities for people to see themselves in a positive way. So I think a lot of my films are about narrative shaping. And so my first film was Sincerely Ethiopia, made my second film called The Diaspora Journal, which is my personal story, never feeling enough anywhere in life, whether I wasn't Ethiopian, Eritrean, or American enough, and then going to Ethiopia and then discovering a little bit of myself, my heritage, and walking a day in the life of different people, and then from that extracting lessons on what it means to, for people to live there, and then for people to come in there and then just learn. So what I learned in the process was there is, though you feel a certain disconnect in different countries as a first generation or second generation diaspora, I think there's also an opportunity for you to be able to see that you have dual value and dual heritage and dual culture that can bridge many gaps. So I saw a lot of the things that made me very vulnerable become my empowerment through that process. So filmmaking has not just allowed me to express a little bit of who I am, but also discover it. So made that film, and then I've done a couple of things for television here and there. And then my film I did 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago or last year, Growing Up in America, which was a film on mental health. And I did that based off of what I was seeing within our community, our struggles and the stigmas that exist around mental health. So I talked a lot about that within interviews. We did a tour with the film. We took it around the nation and got a chance to partner with Hannah and her Promote Positivity platform. So that was great. We got a chance to bring it to Atlanta. So we did a film screening and then a town hall discussion on mental health. We bring in experts. We provide resources. So it's just been a blessing to kind of really dive into things that we normally don't talk about. And really start paving the way forward with conversations, resources, education on ways that we can become our better selves, better versions of ourselves. So that was my film that I did like a couple of years ago. And then this year I have a new project that I'm really excited about that's kind of built around building our way forward as a community. And that stemmed from some ideas I was thinking about towards the tail end of last year about my contributions to my community this year. And it just came to me. I was like, you know what? I think it's a time where we can start building our way forward. And what are some things I want to instill in people's lives? So I was kind of wrestling with that. And then this pandemic hit. And, and it's been a real struggle for me and a lot of people living. And we just felt like me and my business partner felt like it was just the right time to launch the business. We felt kind of, I personally felt kind of weird about it, just launching a business during this time. But knowing what the business stands for and what it's going to accomplish, I think this is more than a better opportunity for this to live and impact many lives. So that's kind of how Ground Zero started.
Yeah, you hit on so much stuff, and I mean, like where to even start? I mean, you I love all that you're doing in the community because you really do use storytelling as a way to shift the narrative, to like shine light on some untold stories, on parts of the culture that are, either ignored or not covered as much because people are sort of always focusing on negative and other factors, which obviously you want to focus on the truth, right? But you also want to be able to show the whole picture. And so
Right.
we thank people like you that can really come out here and shape the narrative and help show the true full reality of what exists both in the motherland and then across the states here. So tell us a little bit more about sort of the
Yeah.
aim with Ground Zero.
Yes, really excited about it. So, Ground Zero is an East African coffee home delivery company and podcast service focused on community impact through storytelling and social enterprise. So, when I was thinking about this idea, first, the idea of coffee, one is it's a, cultural treasure, it's um, an economical tool, and a social vehicle to mobilize communities. So when we look at things like a cultural treasure, the origin of coffee is said to be in Ethiopia. So I wanted to pay homage and, show the richness of the culture in the country that many people may not be aware of. So that was one aspect, knowing that it's a cultural treasure. It's an economical tool. I want to be able to look at sustainability and developing sustainable business within around art and a lot of our creative endeavors within our community, not just for myself, but for others. So a lot of what I'm doing right now is thinking long term about ways that we can be more sustainable as a community and really start investing in ourselves and within each other. And then the last thing is social vehicle. It's a social vehicle because no matter where I go in life, no matter what I do, I always want to be able to have an ear that listens to the heartbeats of my community and my people. So I think one thing that Ground Zero does is we're going to be embedded in many different things that are happening within our community to provide education, provide opportunities of resources, information, resources. So I think it's just a lot.
It's much needed right now, and you've already been doing the type of work, so it's cool to see you sort of like streamline it into one central sort of place. But it's just amazing to see you utilize your skill sets and your platform to do things in different directions and really to shine your light in this world. And I'm so proud of you.
Appreciate that.
Um,
Thank you. It means a lot.
and to my fam here and my friends, like Nate and I met. This was like 2000, like 11, 2010 or something like that. My big brother and Nate were roommates in LA. So talk about
Matt
a small
G.
world. Matt G. so, so talk about a small world, but it goes to show you never know how you'll stay connected. Nate, with everything you have going on, we're living in tough times. We know that. How do you stay motivated? What's your inspiration to keep going?
Wow, that's a good question. I think it's from people like the comments that you are reading, like the people that are watching and kind of, providing affirmation and appreciation for things that I do. Like, y'all have no idea how many times, especially you would understand that, like, because we have personalities that may be a little outgoing or that we really put ourselves and make an effort to really try to encourage others, we can be very discouraged at times and go through our own moments. And I think there's been times I wanted to give up. There's been times I've been discouraged. People have, said so many crazy things to me online and in life about many different things. So I think, it can get discouraging, but I think that one email always comes in at the right time, or that one DM, it always just hits at a perfect time. So the encouragement and the people in the community have really helped keep me afloat. So what I do, I always tell people I'm not alone in what I do, though. I think it's the community, the village that's around me that really kind of upholds me and helps me every step of the way. So I think the people around me inspire me. The people that are honestly the next generation coming up inspires me too. Those that have not even been born yet inspire me because I think what we're doing as a first and second generation is that we're paving a pathway and building a blueprint for those that come after us. So I think it's important that what we do today, know that it affects tomorrow and affects the people that are coming after us. So I think I see things that way. I see life very, I don't know, I think life is a blessing. Just the idea to wake up and have a, just to breathe and have breath in your lungs, it's a blessing. So we are privileged to wake up every single day, and there, with the privilege, there comes a responsibility, and I take that responsibility seriously to know that there are people impacted and affected with what I do. So I want to make sure that I make the most of every minute, every moment with whatever I can be able to provide and contribute to the people around me and that come after me.
Oh, I love that. Don't y'all just love that? I'm here for
Yeah,
all of that. I think all of us need to take that in and do what we can with where we are. Everybody's in a different place in life. Everybody's,
right.
so you do what you can. He's gonna do what he can. I'm gonna do what I can. So, can you speak on just the importance of being able to sort of take care of ourselves during this time? And
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you're a big mental health advocate. Any words on that?
Yeah, I think it's important within this situation to understand we are in an unprecedented time. We're in a pandemic. The struggle is all across the board. Of course, there's people living in different places that are affected differently than others, maybe even more, and that's what's hurtful. And I think though that we are in a time where we just have to unify, and we can't compare ourselves amongst each other. We have to be able to really take each step and each day as it comes. So don't feel overwhelmed. If we talked about people that are able to really strive through this pandemic, but with maybe things that they're doing, but there's others that are just trying to get out of bed, and all of that is okay. The fact that you woke up, that you can wash your face, you can brush your teeth, like celebrate that,
Yeah.
celebrate the little wins in life. I'm telling you, those aren't even little wins. Those are wins. And I think you need to celebrate yourself and what God has given you, the day that you've been provided with. So take your time, give yourself grace and patience every single day. It's a lot all around. Be self-aware about what you need in this moment in time for yourself. Ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. Reach out to your family, your friends. If you need encouragement, reach out to me. I'm here. Hannah's here. We are here to be able to support. This is why we do things that we're doing for people all around us, because we have people that hold us up, and we want to hold you up as well. And I think it's just, there's a quote that I was reading actually this week. It talked about, and I think this is important to share, that ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. So don't let what's around you get inside you and weigh you down. And I think this is so important for us to understand that, yes, we are in a pandemic. We're seeing so many disparities and pain and hurt all around us, and it's evident and it's existing, right? And I think it's important to understand that we may not have all of the answers, and that is okay. You don't have to solve every single problem in the world, at any moment in time. You are here existing in life, and you have to be able to take care of yourself right now. So, and one thing you can do, if you're privileged enough, if you have a home and you have a place to stay, stay home if you can. Lower the curve if you can. It can be frustrating for some people, but for some it's detrimental because they don't even have the ability to stay home. So I think we need to really take a lot into consideration about what we do have and what we can do. So don't bite off more than you can chew. We're all going through it together, and we will get to the other side.
Whew.
Know that we will get to the other side. Like, this too shall pass.
Like, I needed that. You were speaking to my spirit tonight.
Hey, Hannah, no, thank you for what you do. And honestly, being committed to be able to do things like this, I don't think many people understand the background and the work that goes into doing things like this, but it's a lot. It's a lot. You can't take it lightly. So people like you are heroes, and we do appreciate you. I say that on behalf of everyone that's watching, your family, your friends, your community, because many people are getting impacted by it. So you motivate me as well. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Nate. Well, we do that for each other, and I guess just I love y'all too. I love y'all. So, Nate, as we wrap up here, what is your final dose of positivity for us, for anybody watching? Any words of encouragement you may have as we wrap up today's session?
Man, last words. I think we talked through a lot and said a lot, but I think I'll just kind of reiterate a little bit of what I was talking about. It's right now we are in a difficult time all across the board. So I would just want to encourage everyone that's watching to know that this too shall pass. and that what is taking place right now is tough, and whatever you need is very important. So I think, asking for help if you need help. It's going for walks if that's what you need to do. Prayer, meditation is important. Being able to really be able to figure out, I don't think growth is linear. I think there are many different ebbs and flows of what growth looks like, what help looks like for each and every individual. So I think this is going to be something that, we need each other. Everyone needs somebody. So know that you are not alone, and that we are here to support you with whatever you're going through. So feel free to reach out to somebody, because it's a tough time, but just know that we will get to the other side together, and that there's great purpose. And there's a quote that I just love also that says, "In the end, everything will be okay. And if it's not okay, then it's not the end." So I think that that's something that we can definitely at least take great comfort in.